yourself will suffer the consequences. The wisdom of Elijah's inside of the conscientious, so I move with
it. Grace and peace, Black family. This is Vicky Dillard, your sister with the curly braids. And I want you to get ready for the new Master Elements project, The Spear and the Shield.
this vaccine isn't experimental. It's like a dandelion. You overlook it for their weird science.
DJ RP Beats and SincereLuvdaGod have taken this time during the pandemic to carefully craft the soundtrack to Black empowerment with hot tracks like God Mind, featuring Sadat X of the legendary group Brand Nubians.
We never die. I made an ancestral shrine. Let's see what's in the God's mind. Listen, I'm a law in the person of SincereLuvdaGod. That mean your arms too short like Carl Anthony Shaw.
God painted me black.
God painted me black. Thanks for that. I'm a bitch, man.
A letter to Dr. Francis Cress Welsing.
I say to the ancestors. Dear Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, I just wanted to thank you for all the lessons you left us. So yes, I'm more than grateful.
And the controversial song Buck Breaking God today.
Why every black show they gotta have a transgender? Either I'm crazy or there's gotta be a planned agenda.
Get ready, Black family. This is a much needed project. This is The Spear and the Shield.
Thank you, Professor Kaba. Baba Smalls, we're going to save your comment for last, let you close it out. But Chase, I'd like to know your thoughts on things we can do forward as a race of people in terms of solutions, something that will further us in a more positive light. What are your thoughts on that?
I think one of the things we can do better as a people is just show more respect to each other and each other's culture. We understand that we're all genetically African, but we have many different customs, traditions, art forms, different things of that nature. And we have to show respect on that. We can't build a Pan-African community based off lies and disrespect. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. That's why we say the term all skin folk ain't kinfolks. We can't build a community like that. So we have to show love. We have to show respect. And sometimes that just comes in the form of listening. I find that oftentimes a lot of brothers and sisters who I talk to who come here from Senegal, come here from Jamaica and Trinidad, they're always telling me to learn about their culture, their traditions, their customs. But never is it kind of reciprocated, never, because they already think they know about us. So I think a big thing right now is we have to learn to sit back and listen. Sometimes that's the greatest form of respect. And I think that's one thing we can do even for the family who disagrees with the term foundational Black American. Sit back and listen to what we're saying. We know our history. We know where we come from. And oftentimes you'll find gems in what we're saying. I had a sister the other day. She's from Brazil. She talked about because foundational Black Americans kept bringing up how it was Black people here before the slave trade. I started looking into the history of pre-Atlantic slave trade in Brazil. And I found a lot of explorers talking about Black people in Brazil before the slave trade, like Antonio Pafetta and others. So these are the things that we can do just by listening to each other. We can get gems from each other. And I think that's a big thing, but we can't bridge the gap. We can't talk about Pan-Africanism until we put respect on other people's name. And that's it.
All right, family. What's good? Peace, peace, peace to the family. Appreciate y'all joining me for the late night broadcast. I decided to hop on here real quick, late night, to chop it up with y'all about a particular subject. Now, I don't plan on being here too long. We'll see how things go. But I just want to touch on some things that I see brewing, some of the conversations that are in the air. And so tonight's discussion is going to be about our brother, the great Nipsey Hussle. Y'all see it. Y'all see it in the background also. I started off the broadcast with that short clip from a recent broadcast on the Happy YouTube channel. Make sure y'all tap in with the Happy YouTube channel. Subscribe to that channel. The That was a recent panel discussion that they had with the young guard Chase McGee. That was him that was just speaking. The young guard Chase McGee. Shout out to Chase McGee, voice of the ancestors, young scholar right there doing his thing. Much respect to him. But the panel had him, Baba James Smalls, and Dr. Kaba Kamene. And it was a great discussion, a great broadcast talking about Pan-Africanism versus foundational Black Americanism. And I think it was a much needed piece to the puzzle. I think they brought some great insight to the conversation, a perspective that's not really being talked about. It's not really being talked about from that perspective, this perspective of the OGs, the master teachers, and they brought the young guard on as well to bring some balance to the conversation. I really enjoyed it. I think it was great. And I do plan on doing another broadcast this week. And I want y'all to join me for that one. You know what I'm saying? I might do it tomorrow. Most likely I'm going to do it sometime tomorrow night, tomorrow evening. I don't know what time yet. But I want to have like a watch party with that broadcast. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to watch that broadcast with me and talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So we'll play some of the broadcast. We'll pause it, talk about it, build on, you know, what's being said, give our perspectives on it. You know, I may even bring some of y'all on the screen so y'all can give y'all perspective as well. But as always, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna need y'all to engage with me in the chat and all of that. I want to do like a watch party of that that broadcast from the Hoppy channel. So that's probably going to be tomorrow, man. So y'all stay tuned for that. But I wanted to start off with that short clip right there. Like, you know how we normally do on Sincere Love the Godcast. We like to start the broadcast off usually with a short clip from one of the master teachers or somebody that inspires us or is saying something that is pertinent to the topic of discussion that we plan on having on that particular broadcast. So peace to the family. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all tapping in with me on this impromptu late night broadcast tonight. Make sure that y'all hit the like button, share this out on your social media platforms. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching this on another platform, if you're watching this on Facebook, if you're watching this on Twitter, if you're listening to this on Spotify or whatever the case may be, head on over to the YouTube, type in my name, Sincere Love the God, click that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can be reminded whenever we go live with new episodes of Sincere Love the Godcast. We usually broadcast on Sundays around 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Pacific Time. Me and my sister nyctegur, we come on, we chop up game about current events and other important issues that are pertaining to Black society. So you definitely want to stay in tune, stay tapped in with me and my sister for that. And also look out for season 2 of the Black Business Showcase. That is coming up real soon as well. Black Business Showcase is our weekly series where we bring on business owners and entrepreneurs to, you know, share their story with us and their journey into entrepreneurship and just give some good game in general about business. So you definitely want to look forward to season 2 of that. In the meantime, make sure you catch up on all the episodes of season 1. We had some great guests on season 1. It was a phenomenal season. We had some dynamic guests come through and share their stories with us and drop some good game on us. So if you just go to this channel on YouTube and go under the playlist and look for the playlist entitled The Black Business Showcase, and you can catch up on all, I think it's 47 episodes from season 1 and get up on game as far as that. Now, before we get started with the discussion, I want to, and I didn't mean to stop sharing that. I want to play my record for y'all. I want to play a song that I wrote that I own the rights to, me and my brother DJ RP Beats YouTube. You know, this is my own music. I be getting copyright strikes for playing my own music on here sometimes. But I want to play the song that we did off the Spear and the Shield album. By the way, y'all can check out the music on all your favorite social media on all your favorite streaming platforms. Just type in DJ RP Beats, Sincere Love the God. Check out the album, The Spear and the Shield. That's available on your favorite streaming platforms right now. And also check out the single, which is streaming on all your favorite, the new single, which is streaming on all your favorite platforms right now, called The Plandemic. And that's with me and my brother DJ RP Beats once again. But I want to play the song that we did off the Sparing the Shield called Death is a Myth. I want to play that before we get started with today's broadcast. Hold on. Let me get the right one. Let me get the right one pulled up. Is this it? Yeah. Hold on a second, family. Let me get this pulled up for y'all real quick. I want to play this before we get started, man, because verse 3 on this song is dedicated to our brother, Nipsey Hussle. So once again, this is called Death is a Myth. DJ RP Beats, SincereLuvdaGod. Let's get it.
Blood, sweat, and tears. Niggas is dead and shit. What the fuck else can happen? Think much more.
Wish I could resurrect Prodigy, cause really I'm nothing more than the infamous progeny. Just like Fife, he was a part of me, and Google from Gangstar to me is the main artery. And death comes in threes. It's either that or J Dilla or ODB. Just needed company. Telephone. It's XXX Tentacion. He said he's glad to be home. He linked up with Big L. They made incredible shit. He said nobody really dies, homie. Death is a myth. It gave me comfort to know that they not suffering. But who gon' raise my kids if I suddenly kick the bucket? I pushed that thought to the back of my mind. My son 15 now, I'm like, what happened to time? That shit flew by. My daughter be a teen before July. I'm trying to stick around to see many moons and blue skies.
Yo, man. Blood, sweat, and tears. Niggas is dead and shit. What the fuck else can happen? Think much more, son.
I put my lifetime in between the paper's lines until my physical shell decomposes and then it vaporizes. I gotta say these rhymes over these RP beats while my heart still beats. Now watch them plagiarize my whole persona cause they know no honor. They wanna crop your picture out of the frame after they photobomb you, just like Martin. Just like the minister, everybody claimed they was down after they finished them. And Garvey said, look for me in the whirlwind. And Tupac quoted them on me and my girlfriend. And let me know that energy's still here in the world since that spirit in Southampton, Virginia came from Port-au-Prince. Are we recording this? These messages coming through from the other side is something we can't afford to miss. Death is a myth, we only transition. And once we find the meaning in life, then you will understand the mission.
I guess you're here to get your money right, huh? All the time, I mean, you know, all that's cool for the image and all that. I'd rather invest in real estate, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, wait, can you repeat that again, man? You're up and coming artist. What did you say you want to do?
I say invest in some assets as opposed to trick off my money on some liabilities like diamonds.
They killed Nipsey Hussle, he was teaching wealth. And showed niggas how to fish so they could feed theyself. Gunned down at 33, that shit is irking me. What circumstances allowed a fuck boy to murder king? Right in front of his castle, my mind baffled. They should rename Slauson and make it Nipsey Hussle Avenue. Having strong enemies is a blessing. Cherish the breath you breathe, it could leave in a second. He wasn't nothing like you other rap niggas. Same block he hustled on, he brought it back, nigga. Who you know showed the babies how to computer code. Serial entrepreneur plus a beautiful soul. And even though this bigger than rap, best album of 2018 was Victory Lap. No cap. And we gon' keep rapping for Nip. And may your name live forever, homie. Death is a myth.
All right, yes, indeed. So once again, family, that was Death is a Myth. That was Death is a Myth. DJ RP Beats, SincereLuvdaGod. So shout out to Nipsey Hussle, man. The marathon continues. The marathon definitely continues. So what I want to talk about with y'all, right? On yesterday's broadcast, me and my sister nyctegur, we discussed a recent clip from a tweet that bro Timmy, the Nigerian American actor that plays on Power. He plays the character Dre on Power. He had put out a tweet which was a clip from one of his recent episodes. There go my sister right there. Peace to the God, nyctegur in the digital building. So he had tweeted out a clip from one of his recent interviews where he was talking about going back home to Nigeria and how fly it was and this, that, and the third. And we we had some criticism for some of the things that he was saying in the clip. And I'm gonna pull it up. And I'm gonna replay it in a second. But let me just finish trying to explain to y'all why I wanted to come on here and have this discussion. Do y'all hear noise in the background, by the way? My goddamn. Hold on. I don't know why that washing machine is making so much noise. Can y'all hear that in the background? Let me know if y'all hear all that noise in the background. Hold on a second, family. My bad. I don't know what the hell was going on there. Anyway, my bad. I'm back. That was hella noisy. I know the microphone was picking that up. Yes, y'all could hear it, right? Yeah. But so anyway, some of the things that Rotimi was saying in that clip, we had some criticism for it. We felt the way about some of the things that he was saying and some of the energy that was coming from what he was saying in that clip. And as you know what the climate is right now, as far as this whole discussion about foundational Black Americans, us, defining ourselves as a unique culture, a unique ethnic group, and certain people from, non-FBA backgrounds having a problem with it and feeling some type of way. Pastor Tony on the check-in. What's going on, Pastor Tony? Yeah, I'm in here on the late night creep. Man. But some people have been having a problem with, us defining ourselves and us kind of excluding other people from some of the things that we're trying to get done out here as far as reparations and tangibles, specifically for foundational Black Americans, because, for so long we've had to cape on for everybody, not just, other Black people who are non-FBA, but just everybody in general. We just had to cape on for everybody. You know what I'm saying? All immigrants, all so-called minorities and marginalized people. Black people have been carrying the water for everybody. And we finally gotten to a point where we're turning inward and we're looking at ourselves and we're saying, okay, listen, we're going to have to let all these other people hold their own nuts and do what they got to do. And we're going to focus on the things that we need that are specifically for us, because none of the energy that we've been putting out has been getting reciprocated. And so that's a logical step for us to take. But, the people who've been benefiting from us not looking at ourselves in this way have a problem with it. And so it turned into this ongoing discussion that's been happening mostly online, I would say, but definitely offline as well. You know what I'm saying? It's a real life thing. It's not just something that just exists on Twitter and shit like that. It's a real life thing as well. Hold on one second. All right. Right. And so, you know, the climate is a little bit of tension in the air. You know what I'm saying? And so we checking everybody, you know what I'm saying? We listening very closely to what some of these people are saying, and we making sure nobody ain't trying to sneak this and take no low-key shots at us and all of that. And if we feel some type of way, we gonna say something. You know what I'm saying? And so the clip that Rotimi put out, I'll be honest, when I first seen it, when it first scrolled across my timeline, I ain't really paying too much mind. I ain't really have too much of a problem with it. But when we replayed it on the broadcast yesterday, and I was really listening to it, it was like, okay, hold on a second. This dude sound like he trying to take credit, trying to tether our culture. And that's just something that we're not having. You know what I'm saying? That's part of what the conversation is about. It's not just, you know, us getting the tangibles that we need and getting the reparations that we need for our group, but it's also about us claiming our culture, our cultural accomplishments, and, you know, things that we've contributed to the global, just the world in general. You know what I'm saying? On many different levels. You know what I'm saying? On any different levels, anything that we contributed, we are now saying, okay, we're going to put our name on it. We're going to put our signature on it. We're going to make sure that we get credited for the positive things that we contributed to the world, and stop allowing everybody to be included with the things that we do just because they got melanin in their skin. And on the reverse end of that, we have to take the weight of everybody's garbage. You know what I'm saying? No matter where somebody is from, if they do some nonsense, it just gets chalked up to Black culture, which everybody associates with foundational Black American culture. And we have to bear the burden for Black people everywhere. But when it comes to our accomplishments, everybody wants to separate themselves. If somebody from another group does something fly, you know what I'm saying, they get some type of prestigious degree, or they come up with some great invention, or they save somebody's life, you know what I'm saying, or they help an old lady across the street or anything, they're going to make sure they're going to wave their flag. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that was a Ugandan American. That was a, you know, whatever. Somebody from South America, whatever. They're going to make sure they wave their flag. You know what I'm saying? Let it be known that it wasn't one of us. That's the whole thing. They want to let it be known that whatever this accomplishment is, it wasn't those foundational Black American niggas. And we saying, okay, you know, that's how everybody getting down. So now we're going to get down the same way. Right. And so I'm going to play the clip again and break down why we had a problem with it. And then we're going to talk about the Nipsey Hussle thing, because some people are trying to compare what Rotimi said in this clip to some of what Nipsey Hussle was saying about his experience going back to Africa. Some people are trying to compare the two. And so I sense that is brewing. So I wanted to come on here and kind of clean it up before it even gets too out of control. Because I think some of the tethers, for the most part, are trying to use some of Nipsey Hussle's words and compare that to what Rotimi was saying and some of the criticism that we've been giving him, and saying that we're being hypocritical. And not just Rotimi either. There was some other clips from like Michael Blackston and other non-foundational Black Americans who've been saying slick shit out there, and we've been checking it. And so some people are trying to say, well, Nipsey, he was saying the same thing, you know, about Black American culture and how African culture is better and this, that, and the third. But anyway, here go the clip. And the tweet said, the tweet was, the style, the wealth, the air, everything is better at home. And he got the Nigerian flag up there, right? So let me play it.
It don't matter what country, you live in 10 times better than most. It don't matter what country. It don't matter what country, you live in 10 times better than most rich people here.
Mm-hmm.
There's wealthy there and there's rich here. There's a big difference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, experiencing that and seeing that, and then just the style, the swag, everything has been stolen from there.
Come on.
See, now that's where the problem came at, and that for me. That's where the problem came in at for me, because look at this brother on the screen. His whole style, his whole swag comes from foundational Black Americans. Okay, that's just what it is. Foundational Black Americans have influenced the style and the swag all over the globe. Okay? We are the definition of style and swag and cool and hip and all of those things that every other culture, not even just other Black people, that every other culture tries to emulate. We are the example. You know what I'm saying? Look at him. No disrespect to nobody's culture, but let's just talk about it, man. Nigerian, since he's from Nigeria, we'll just focus on Nigeria, right? Nigerian parents, his parents, will not allow him to get that haircut as a child. If they bring him to the barbershop, he's not getting that haircut. His parents ain't having that. Trust me, I'm a barber. I cut a lot of African kids' hair, and they want the foundational Black American swag a lot of times. And the parents be like, no, cut that shit off. No, he's not getting no haircut like that. Cut that off. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DJ RP Beats in the building. Shout out to DJ RP Beats in the building. You know what I'm saying? So, what you mean we stealing the swag from y'all? What you mean all of the swag and the style been stolen from y'all? That's our style and our swag. You got on our uniform, man. You got on our uniform. Even the inflections, the way that you talk, your body language, all of that shit come from us. And I think he was born here. I know he grew up here, but I think he was even born here. You know what I'm saying? And so he has our mannerisms and everything. You know what I'm saying? But without us knowing his name or him telling us his background, you would never even know that he wasn't from here, that he was non-FBA. You know what I'm saying? Because he grew up here. He got the swag down pat. You know what I'm saying? But when people migrate over here from any of these places as adults, they really don't have the swag. It takes them a minute to get acclimated. They stand out. The way that they dress, the way that they move, their mannerisms, not even just the accent. The accent is one thing, you know what I'm saying? But their whole demeanor and their whole swag is always a little off when they first get here. Whether they come here as, you know, young children. And when I say young children, I'm talking about like, you know, over 10 years old or whatever the case may be, preteens, teenagers and stuff like that. When they come here, it takes them a minute to adjust to the swag. And like I said, they parents be trying to keep them away from the swag. They parents look down on that. No, you ain't getting your hair cut like that. I don't want you running around here looking like no Akata boy. No, you ain't getting those new Jordans. No, you ain't getting them Yeezys and all that. No. They have y'all looking goofy. They be having y'all looking goofy, and then y'all go to school and y'all get bagged on and all that, and then y'all hold grudges against FBAs your whole life because of that. You know what I'm saying? So the style and the swag didn't come from over there. So really, that was really the problem. That's where it became problematic. And you know, it came across very arrogant and disrespectful. He didn't put no respect on the name. It felt like a sneak diss. It felt like a sneak diss. I ain't have a problem with him talking about you know, if you got money in Africa, you could live much better with that money than you could live in America. I'm sure that's true. The cost of living is going to be way different. Our dollar is way more powerful than the naira or whatever the money is called over there. You know, the American dollar is obviously way more powerful than that. You know, it's got way more buying power. You're going to get more for your buck. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure it's beautiful. I'm sure there are some beautiful areas, but we're not going to ignore, you know, all the poverty in the impoverished areas that's going on. We're not going to overlook that and act like that don't exist either. And act like it's just, you know, Zamunda over there and Wakanda over there. It's not like that. But if you got money and you take that money to Africa, I'm sure you could live better with that money than you could do over here. I don't have a problem with that part of the statement. But then when you started talking about the culture, that's when it got a little funny style, brother. That's when it got a little funny style. And I don't know who these brothers is that's doing the interview, but they was throwing the battery and all that, talking about talk your shit, nigga, talk your shit. No, don't talk that shit. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Hold on a second.
And then just the style, the swag, everything has been stolen from them. Just the style, the swag, everything has been. And then just the style, the swag, everything has been stolen from there.
Come on.
And then just the style, the swag, everything has been stolen from there. And then just the style, the swag, everything has been stolen from there.
And just the style, the swag. I mean, the inflections in your voice, my nigga, that come from here. You sound like one of us. And just the style, the swag, your body language, your hand gestures, that's all us. That's all us. And I ain't even going that far. Some people feel that way. Somebody said, dude is a whole clown. Why is he even over here? I'm not even, me personally, I'm not even taking it that far. I'm just saying, you know, let's keep it a buck, fam. That's all I'm saying. Let's just give credit where credit is due. And that's why I started off with that clip from Chase too. When Chase was talking, you know, the brother had asked Chase, you know, what could we do to kind of heal as far as this conversation going forward and all of that? And Chase was like, well, one of the main things that we could do is we can all put respect on each other's culture. You know what I'm saying? That's the main thing. We can't just be disrespectful to other people and their culture and saying, you know, trying to make it seem like foundational Black Americans, for one, ain't got no culture. You know what I'm saying? And all of this other nonsense and disrespectful shit that they be saying. And trying to take credit for everything that we brought to the table, for all of our innovations, for all of our swag and our style, trying to take credit for that and give it to Mama Africa when it originated here with us. You know what I'm saying? We're a specific, unique ethnic group with a unique experience, a unique history that nobody else has, just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? A Yoruba has a unique experience, a unique culture, and a unique history that nobody else on the planet has. And they have their own accomplishments and so on and so forth. Nobody tries to take credit for other people's things. You know what I'm saying? Jamaicans have their own culture, their own unique history and experience that nobody else on the planet can claim, that it's unique to them. But when it comes to us, it's like everybody lays claim to who we are, what we do, and what we brought to the table. And we like, no, we just saying no more of that, man. We just saying no more of that, man. And so that was the only problem that I had with what Rotimi said in this clip. I'll play the rest just in case that I might be forgetting about something.
Come on, talk.
You know what I'm saying? So I think everybody just needs to know that they need to go home, and even just the air, like the air is crisp. You can breathe. Like when you breathe in America, bro, it's like you breathing in problems, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Oh God,
and
listen.
Like, yes, anxiety. When you leave,
boy.
Oh man, Africa, bro, all that anxiety is out, bro. All of that.
And so that part too, you know what I'm saying? Because again, this is that, you know, Wakanda forever talk. This is that Wakanda forever talk. And we know that it's not like that over there, fam. They trying to paint the picture. They trying to market Africa to us as if white supremacy doesn't exist over there. All of the problems of white supremacy only exist in America, and it's in the air. It's in everything. It is in the air. It's in all areas of activity, including the air, family. But the thing about it is, it's global. You don't escape white supremacy when you go to Nigeria, even if you got money. You got billionaires over there who are still under the thumb of white supremacy. They have been allowed to accumulate whatever wealth and riches that they have because most of them work as puppets for the white supremacists, for the Western powers. You know what I'm saying? To keep the rest of the African population subdued and misled and in line and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So the beginning of it was cool. Listen, if you got money, you can live a little bit better in Africa. Okay, that's what's up. You know what I mean? And more power to whoever wants to, make that pilgrimage. You know what I'm saying? But don't try to market it and sell it as if, you know, all of the problems of white supremacy is only confined to the United States of America. This is a global system, man. Ain't no escaping it. You can't succeed your way out of it. You can't take a flight and get away from it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to fight it wherever you at on the globe. You're going to have to resist, and you're going to have to fight, and we're going to have to do what we got to do to dismantle the entire system and replace it with a system of justice. And replace it with a system of justice. That's just the bottom line. Ain't no getting away from that. We've been down for them. We just didn't know how much they didn't mess with us until now. And he over here though. Why he brings his goofy ass here and make money off of our vulture in music? I think you meant the right culture. Okay. Let me put some of y'all comments on the screen. Brother DJ RP Beats said Akon was the first to go back to Africa with the snake oil salesman. He wasn't the first. This has been going on for a long time, actually. I forgot the dude's name. Back in the early 1900s. There was a dude that was doing the same thing. He was like trying to sell this Wakanda idea about Africa, the foundation of Black Americans. He was literally a con artist, though. I forgot this dude's name. I would say colonialism is even worse. It's the same thing. Colonialism is just, slavery by another name. The same thing that happened to us over here literally is the same thing that happened to them over there. It just took place on your homeland. And in a lot of ways, that happened for us the same exact way. But, the way the story was told is that we was all stolen and brought over here from another place. So a lot of our actual history was erased. And so that's really the only difference. But they took your language. They took a lot of your culture, your way of life, your values and principles, and they instilled theirs within you right there on the continent. You know what I'm saying? So it's really not no big difference. Your whole existence is to benefit the system. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you do is to benefit the system. Same thing over here. You know what I'm saying? That was the whole purpose of slavery. Our labor, we were to become a labor force that would produce fruits for the dominant society. And that's the same thing that happens over there. All of their labor, the wealth, the resource, the natural resources and all of that, it goes to fund and support the system of white supremacy. So it's pretty much the same type of situation over there. And so some people were comparing some of the things that our brother Nipsey Hussle said in the past to what Rotimi was saying in that clip, and saying, well, y'all shitting on him, but y'all love Nipsey Hussle. Y'all bigging up Nipsey Hussle and all of that. But Nipsey Hussle, he was half Eritrean, and he was saying the same thing about Africa when he went back home. But was he though? Was he really though? All right, let's talk. All right, first I'm going to pull this one up. Is this the one? Okay, yeah. Now this, let me get this pulled up. The first clip was when he sat down with our brother Tariq Nasheed on the Ism radio show. And Layla and Bree. Layla and Bree was part of this interview too. Okay, let me share that. Close this. I got too many tabs open. So let me pull this up. All right. Excuse me.
You went to Eritrea, right?
Yeah.
How old were you when you went?
I was 18. Excuse me. I was 18. I turned 19 out there.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So on my 19th birthday, I had been there for a month.
Oh well, you out there for a minute.
Yeah, I stayed for 90 days.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How was that, man?
I wasn't ready for it, for real.
Oh damn.
I wasn't, but then it changed my life. Like I was, you know how you are when you're 18.
Yeah.
You know the mentality you in. You know, I was in a spot. I was hustling. You know what I mean? I was really attached to all my material things. I had accumulated. I was attached to my lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was just really focusing toward music also, like going toward the music thing. I had bought some equipment and was starting to record music. And, you know, I didn't really want to, I wanted to go because I never met none of my family.
Yeah.
So that was something I was passionate about, me, my grandmother and my cousins, but I didn't want to stay for 90 days. I'm like, we can go out there for a week, 2 weeks, a month, but 90 days is a long time. But when I got there, I went through a process. I think I had like culture shock a little bit.
Yeah.
Not because I wasn't aware of my culture. My dad raised me on the food, you know, the music.
Yeah.
You know, he speak the language fluently, but just in terms of lifestyle and in terms of like, you know, I wasn't on no bougie shit. Like I wasn't able to get in tune with the way of living. It was just completely different. A 24-hour cycle, what goes on, was completely different than what I was used to.
Yeah.
So it took me a while to like learn how to tap into it and you know, kind of catch the wave of being out there.
But you got to see his perspective of who you were.
That was deep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? One of the things I remember thinking was like, damn, how long people been in America on record? They say, you know, 500-600. I don't know the exact length, but it's all type of theories of what happened before that. But we know for sure that people been in Africa for thousands and thousands and thousands of years.
Absolutely.
So I just thought about trial and error. When you new to a place, there's a learning curve. But when you've been here for a while, any of the customs that's still going on, there must be some wisdom behind it.
Absolutely.
For it to still exist, for it not to have got weeded out. So all the things that was going on, I respected the way of living a little more because it wasn't new. It was like a mature custom.
So when you got back here, do you think that had a direct influence on the way you started thinking outside of the box when you got back?
100%. It was deeper than my surface level.
Yeah.
You know, because you get back home and you're going to get back on LA time.
Yeah.
Bottom line. You know what I'm saying? But I was aware. I had seen a place where, and it's no disrespect what I'm about to say, I'm just being honest, where like.
So let me stop right there, because that right there, what he just said, was extremely important. Those words that he just said were extremely important. He preferenced what he's about to say by saying this is no disrespect. And this is what I was saying about Rotimi and Akon and some of these other dudes that are talking reckless. They are very arrogant. Their energy is very arrogant, and they're not putting no respect on the game. Now, remember, Nipsey Hussle is FBA. His mother is a foundational Black American. His father comes from Eritrea. You know what I'm saying? So Nipsey Hussle, and he grew up in LA. You know what I'm saying? This is a Crip from LA. You know what I'm saying? So he's speaking about his real experience and comparing it to what he had experienced when he traveled back home in terms of, you know, different lifestyles, different customs and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And he put it in a historical perspective. There are, now over here in America, we know it's not just a theory that there were people here prior to, you know, the last 500 years or whatever the case may be. That's not just a theory. That's a fact that can't be disputed. You know what I'm saying? There's people here on record longer than that. You know what I'm saying? All types of scholars and, you know, explorers have bared witness that when they got over here, they saw Black people, the same people that they saw when they went to Ethiopia, the same people that they saw all over West Africa and all that. They encountered the same people when they got here. Talking about Christopher Columbus and the boys, Balboa, and on all the people when they came over here. They said it themselves. The people that they encountered when they got here were Black people, right? But still, at the same time, a lot of that history has been hidden and erased for a very long time. So a lot of the customs and traditions didn't survive. This is the reason why foundational Black Americans are unique, because our culture is a new culture that we had to come up with, because a lot of our customs and tradition, we're talking about those of us those of us who come from the indigenous people who are already here, a lot of those customs and traditions were erased completely. And so everything that we came up with since then is something new. Foundational Black Americans is a new ethnic group. It's a new culture to the planet. You know what I'm saying? And it is in direct response to our experience over the last 500 years or so, compared to what he's talking about back in Africa, where a lot of the traditions and all of that have survived thousands of years. Some of the things that they do, their way of life, has been going on, has been passed down from generation to generation for literally thousands and thousands of years. So he's saying, I'm seeing customs in place that have been in place for all of this time, for all of these millenniums. So he's saying there must be some wisdom to that. You know what I'm saying? There must be some science to this. This must be something that I can pull from and learn from and take heed to. We're in the infant stages as far as our culture. So best believe we are far from perfect, and we have a lot of improvements that we can adapt. You know what I'm saying? Or that we can adopt over here. You know what I'm saying? We're in our infant stages. So I'm sure a lot of the customs, it's not even a question that some of the things that we embrace as being part of our culture need to be thrown away and need to be improved at the bare minimum. There's no question about that. But what he's saying is, through his experience going back to Africa, there were some things in place that have been in place for millenniums. And so he's saying, damn, there must be some science to this. Let me see what this is about. Why do they do this? Why do they do what they do? And what are the results? How does it work compared to what I experienced growing up in South Central LA? Right? And another thing about it is, Tariq is directing him with his questions. He's directing him down this path with his line of questioning. Right? It's not like this was something that he even planned on talking about. This is not like he was trying to be slick and take low-key shots at Black American culture or nothing crazy like that, like some of these other people are doing. You know what I'm saying? Tariq directed him down this path of questioning. So let me finish. But what he just said was the most important part, though, so I had to stop right there.
And it's no disrespect what I'm about to say. I'm just being honest. Where like the family structure wasn't devastated.
Oh yeah, that's real shit. That ain't no disrespect.
It wasn't fucked up. And you could blame men, you could blame women, you could blame institutional, whatever. But out here, it's just a different dynamic between our families, and even the dynamic between men and women out here.
Yeah,
I was raised, in LA, in South Central LA, and you know what the story is.
Oh yeah,
and my perspective of women was a little fucked up, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? And just my I didn't think it was, but when I went out there and I seen how different the dynamic was
with the women and the men, how they interacted with
and
each
even
other.
Me, after being out there a month, I was ready to kill behind my female homegirls. You better not play with them. You better not play with my cousins. I'll do something to you behind these women. Because
now let me just say about that right there. Let me just say this about that right there. As a foundational Black American who has been here my whole life, I already feel like that about my sisters. I already feel like that about Black women. I've always been on that type of time. So he's talking about his personal experience now. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak to his personal experience growing up in LA and what his disposition was toward women, or whatever the case may be. Maybe he was taught to devalue women and be disrespectful towards women, or whatever the case may be. I personally always been on that protect Black women type of time. You know what I'm saying? As a foundational Black American. So even though he's speaking about his personal experience growing up in LA, that's still not indicative of foundational Black American culture as far as devaluing women and not protecting women. That's not indicative of the culture in general. That's his personal experience. So I just wanted to say that, though.
Just the confidence they had in supporting me and taking care of me, just based on the customs, not because I was special, but just based on, like, it's like the way they I don't know, I don't want to sound misogynistic how I say this, but it was just like a mutual respect that made the relationship much different.
Absolutely, yeah. The culture just in Africa is totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know that affected just, I'm like, this ain't right. How we getting down with each other, this ain't right. And who came first, the chicken or the egg? I don't know who fucked it up, men or women, but it ain't right. However we got here.
Right.
It's not how it's supposed to be. As opposed to thinking it's just how it go. You know what I mean? That was one of the things I remember noticing, like, damn.
So he wasn't on here selling Wakanda, right? He was talking about his personal experience growing up here in the United States versus the experience that he had when he went back home and visited his family in Africa, right? But he wasn't trying to sell Wakanda. He wasn't trying to take shots and shit on foundational Black American culture and take credit for foundational Black American accomplishments and things of that nature. He wasn't doing none of that, right? Nipsey was Malcolm after he came back home from Mecca. Nipsey, he said, okay, I see what you're saying. He said Nipsey was Malcolm before he came back home from Mecca. I don't know about that. I don't know about that parallel right there. I see where you're trying to go with that, but Malcolm didn't become the Malcolm X that we know and love after he made the trip to Mecca. Malcolm became the Malcolm that we know and love after he went to prison here in America and he encountered the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. That is what transformed Malcolm from Detroit Red to the Malcolm X that we all revere. You know what I'm saying? The trip to Mecca has been kind of remixed and romanticized by the dominant society and the white media and people who want to try to shit on the Nation of Islam and try to shit on Elijah Muhammad and try to exalt the student over the teacher. Right? That narrative has really been pushed by people who have interest in perpetuating that rift between Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad. Right? Oh, he changed his ways when he came back from Mecca. He saw the light, and he stopped saying that the white man was the devil and this, that, and the third. It has that slant that's been put on that story is not really right and exact. That slant that has been put on that pilgrimage to Mecca is not really right and exact. That's a whole nother story, but I'll just say that to the day Malcolm died, he was still trying to get back right with Elijah Muhammad. Okay, there wasn't this big change of heart that they try to make it seem like, oh, he realized that, because they did try to make it seem like he realized that what Elijah Muhammad was teaching was false because he went to Mecca and he saw white people making salat. Now he's thinking that Elijah Muhammad's teachings are false all of a sudden. That's the way that they push that narrative, but that's not true. That's not true at all. To the day that Malcolm died, he was still trying to get back with the nation, and that's just history. But I see what you was trying to say there, you know what I'm saying, as far as Nipsey, after he came back from Africa, his worldview and his outlook on what he wanted to bring to the table as far as his legacy and the impact that he wanted to have on the community had changed. You know what I'm saying? That was his transition from just ordinary gangbanger to becoming, the Nipsey Hussle that we know and love. You know what I'm saying? The one who wanted to make a positive impact on his community and try to clean up some of the dirt that he did in the hood. You know what I'm saying? That trip to Africa, I believe, definitely contributed to that for him. I would say that. He learned lessons and customs from a pure place. Remember, the people there were never colonized. I don't know too much about the history in Eritrea, but I know it's close to Ethiopia. And I know Ethiopia was never technically colonized. You know what I'm saying? And also, you know, big thanks to foundational Black Americans for, you know, going to bat for them as far as that and helping them fight against the invasion of Mussolini and all of that. It was foundational Black Americans that volunteered to go over there to help stop that invasion from taking place. But so technically they never got colonized in Ethiopia. I don't know, you know, what that means for Eritrea, their neighbors or whatever the case may be. I don't know what that means for them. But even Ethiopia still, you know, became dominated from the outside by Western powers. They still, even to this day, controlled by Western powers from the outside. They don't reap the benefits of their own natural resources. They don't, you know, have that type of independence to just have self-sufficiency and all of that. You know what I mean? Again, white supremacy is global, but I understand the sentiment, though. I definitely understand the sentiment. He found his mission there, and we see it in how he lived and his moves in the United Nations. You mean in the United States? But yeah, definitely, for sure. For sure. We could see that clear as day. Right? All right, so there's another Nipsey Hussle clip. Let me pull that up. Where's that at? Stop sharing this. Stop sharing this. One more Nipsey Hussle clip we're going to go through. And hold on, it's a commercial plan. Let me skip this commercial. Shit is. Also, family, make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that like button. I appreciate y'all tapping in with me on the late night tip. I ain't going to be here too much longer. I just want to hop on here and chop it up about this real quick. We are approaching our brother Nipsey Hussle's born day. Nipsey Hussle got the same born day as my son, the young God 7, was born on August 15th, same day as Nipsey Hussle. So we are approaching, you know, his born day. And so his energy is heavy in the air right now. Again, my brother RP Beats kind of hit me up about this this morning a little bit. We was talking about it, and I felt it brewing on social media as well. I seen some of the tethers and all of that trying to come at it from this angle and compare the two, you know what I'm saying, as well. So I said, before this shit get too out of control, let me jump on here and give my 2 cents. You know what I mean? Let it be known how I feel about it. But yeah, the Nipsey Hussle energy, the marathon energy has definitely been real thick in the air. Soon as we hit the month of August, you know what I mean? I seen the clip that kind of been floating around with Snoop. I don't know if that's an old clip, but I just started seeing it. Where Snoop was doing an interview, and he was saying that, you know, they just found out that Nipsey Hussle is actually a descendant of Haile Selassie. And I don't know how true that is or whatever the case may be, but that's what's being said. You know, I guess Snoop saying, you know, they got some type of confirmation that, you know, he comes from that bloodline or whatever the case may be. I don't know. He definitely looked like him. People have always made that comparison and said that. But a lot of them got that look, you know what I'm saying, from over there. You know what I'm saying? And then he had the beard and all that to go with it too. So he definitely got a striking resemblance to Haile Selassie. But again, I don't know how true that is. You know what I'm saying? It could be just one of those things that just add to the legend, the myth, you know what I mean, to make it even larger than life. And you know what I'm saying? Add some more mystery and all of that to the story and all of that of Nipsey Hussle. It could be that, or it could be true. It could be true. I don't know. But let me get to this other clip right here. Let me make sure no commercial ain't about to play first. Hold on a second. And this is from the Breakfast Club, by the way. He's talking about going back home here on the Breakfast Club. And so this is fair use. I don't know. Is this their channel? I don't know if this is their channel or what, but fair use. We just doing social commentary on this right here. So
African?
Yeah, my dad from Africa. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he from East Africa country.
You African?
Yeah, my dad from Africa. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he from East Africa, a country called Eritrea.
What?
Eritrea. It's next door to Sudan,
okay.
Ethiopia, borders the Red Sea, all that.
Have you been back there?
Yeah, when I was 18, actually, I went for 3 months, and it was cool. At first, I was ready to go home. So
You went there for what? As I had to get low, try to go, or you just went to visit?
Not even. I was good at that point, but you know, my granny that I had never met, my aunties, my cousins, I never met any of my pop's family. My pops was the only one in our family that was in America, so I was raised by my mom's side, and then my pops played his role. But we went out there to meet her because she was sick, and I ended up spending 90 days out there, you know, and it changed my life. It changed my perspective on a lot of things, especially more than anything, my respect for women, you know, because I was raised in a area where, you know what I'm saying?
Bitches ain't but hoes and tricks.
Yeah, that part, you know what I'm saying? But I went back home and I had a totally different experience, you know, and I came in the house and they had food ready for me, and, you know, they wouldn't let me lift my hand and do no work. And they was like, literally, when I came in to eat, they washed my hands for me. You know what I'm saying? And so I felt obligated to, you know, do my part as a man. Like, you know, can't nobody disrespect my cousins. Can't nobody, you know what I mean? They don't got to do no labor, no hard labor that men supposed to do. And it just like made me aware of the dynamic of a real family relationship. Right. You know, we come from broken homes and all that. So.
And you got to make these American women be more domesticated like the African women.
I mean,
and then men got to handle their responsibilities.
That part
like
too. Yeah.
Here comes Charlamagne. Go ahead, Charlamagne. Say what else you want to say.
I'm just saying, I ain't never had no girl wash my hands for me.
Nah, but if you go back, you will, and you'll be like, all right, well, I ain't got no problem. You know, if you need something, you got it. It's cool or whatever. You like she said, you'll understand your role a little better. Not you per se, but just, you know.
I like tricking.
And so Charlamagne always got to clown, no matter what the situation is. He always got to clown. That's just his job. He's the court jester. That's just his job. But again, it's no disrespect there. There was no disrespect there. There was no arrogance there. There was no tethering. You know, there was no trying to take credit or give credit to some other culture for what we do. You know what I'm saying? As far as what they were saying about the respect for women. And again, you know, Charlamagne threw the Snoop Dogg lines in there, bitches ain't shit but hoes and chicks or tricks and all of that. That's not really just foundational Black American culture. You know what I'm saying? That might be something that was pushed in rap music, and that might be part of gang culture. And to be real, and this is something that I've always said about those type of lyrics in general, to be real, bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. That's not just talking about women in general, and it's not just talking about Black women specifically. It's talking about bitches. That come from pimp culture. That's not foundational Black American culture, just broadly. That comes from pimp culture. Pimp culture is a subculture of FBA culture. It's an underworld culture. Every group has their underworld. You know what I'm saying? But that's not something that just all foundational Black Americans ascribe to as part of the culture. You know what I'm saying? And some people may have grown up hearing that as a young, impressionable youth and interpreted it as meaning all women. And they might have, you know, started to act in that manner toward women. Nipsey Hussle could have been one of those who took that as, okay, bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. That applies to all women. So I'm going to treat all women like bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. That could be the case. You know what I'm saying? But that still doesn't say that that's FBA culture. That's just how foundational Black Americans get down. Again, foundational Black American is a lineage. You're talking about a group of 40-something million people. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't got the same get down. You know what I mean? There are subcultures in different parts, you know what I mean, that get down differently. But again, I've always looked at those type of lyrics as referring to a certain type of female, not just females in general. And I never looked at it in my mind as just being Black females. A lot of people make it seem like these rappers are only talking about Black females when they have those type of lyrics. I never looked at it that way. And it could be because, again, I had knowledge of self from a very early age. I had a lot of racial pride from a very early age. Black is beautiful and all of that shit was instilled in me from an early age. The respect for the Black women. I come from the nation of gods and earths. I looked at the black woman as being symbolic to the earth, as being symbolic to the moon. You know what I'm saying? As a youth. So maybe because I had that foundational outlook on things, that I didn't interpret those lyrics that same way. I was able to compartmentalize. Like, it is some bitches out here that ain't shit but hoes and tricks, and he talking about them. Right. Right. Shout out to my co-host. She said, and this is a black foundational black American woman right here. She says some females are bitches, hoes, and tricks. They do exist. That is a reality. And if people choose to rap about that, that's their prerogative. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we can't compare what Nipsey Hussle was saying to what some of these non-FBA tethers are saying out here with the disrespect and all of that shit. You know what I mean? And so that's all I really want to come on here tonight and say. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't even planning on being on here this long, but this is cool right here. We just about an hour into it, so we can go ahead and end this for the night. But again, I want y'all to tap in with me. Most likely tomorrow night. I'm gonna hop back on here tomorrow night, and I want to do a watch party. Let me pull this up. Let me pull this up real quick. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Again, hit the like button, family. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can be alerted whenever me and my sister nyctegur go live with new episodes of Sincere Love the Godcast. We usually broadcast on Sundays, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Pacific Time. So make sure that you guys are tapped in with us for that. Follow me on social media at SincereLuvdaGod on all social media platforms. Make sure y'all are following my lovely co-host. She is at nyctegur with the number 1 on Instagram, and without the number 1 on all other platforms. nyctegur, number 1 on Instagram, and without the 1 on all other platforms. But you got female/women, then you got bitches and hoes and tricks. Shout out to Bad Seed. And that's how I always took it. R.I.P. Nip Hussle the Great. Yes, indeed. R.I.P. Nip Hussle the Great. So yeah, we're not going to confuse Nip and conflate Nip with the tethers out here. Nah, Nip was a rider. Nip was a real one. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't on that type of bullshit. And we're not contradicting ourselves by criticizing these dudes and calling out this bullshit. But I want y'all to shout out to Happy Films. Hoppy, I think it's pronounced Hoppy. I want y'all to subscribe to their channel. It's definitely some good content over there. I think it's Happy Films on all social media platforms as well. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I think it's Happy Films on all social media platforms as well. Hold on. Am I logged in? I'm supposed to be subscribed already. Hold on. Let me hit that subscribe and that notification bell right here. I think I might be subscribed from a different account or something. But yeah, go over here, subscribe to their channel as well, family. They got some dope shit going on over here. But the most recent broadcast that they did was this one right here.
Professor Smalls.
With Professor James Smalls, Dr. Kaba, the young god Chase McGee. And this was a great discussion right here. And the title is, what's the title? Well, on here it says, Hoppy talks to Kaba Kamene, James Small, and Chase McGee about the rift between Pan-Africanism and foundational Black Americans. All right. And so what I want to do is I want to have a watch party with y'all. I want y'all to come watch the whole thing. Well, not the whole thing, but a good portion of it with me right here on this channel. Most likely tomorrow night, I'm gonna go live and I'm gonna play a lot of that interview right there and chop it up with y'all about it, man. You know what I'm saying? We have a whole good discussion about it right here on the channel. You know what I mean? Get everybody's feedback, get everybody's feelings about it. And I just want to say this. I think it was a very necessary piece of the puzzle that was added to the discussion. I'm glad that they did it. It was really good to hear from the OGs and the master teachers concerning what we've been talking about, because a lot of us that are having this discussion are much younger in the game. We have a different perspective than some of the elders, and these are elders that are well respected. You know what I'm saying? That have brought a lot of insight, a lot of knowledge and wisdom to the table as far as our history, who we are as a people, and all of that. We haven't really heard much from them concerning the conversation that we've all been having about this foundational Black American thing. You know, I don't want to say versus the diaspora, because it's not really a fight. There's people who have a problem with, you know, us defining ourselves or whatever the case may be, and we'll respond to that accordingly. But it's not really a fight. It's not really a diaspora war. You know what I'm saying? It's just some necessary straightening taking place. And it was just good to hear from the OGs and the master teachers and get their perspective on the whole thing. And I really felt good about it, because a lot of what they were saying, they were articulating a lot of what I've been trying to say about the conversation on this platform myself. And again, I'm not the master teacher. I'm only just a student and signal booster for these very people that we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So it was good to hear them articulate some of the things that I've been trying to say about this whole discussion. You know what I'm saying? And who we are as a people. I came on here a couple of weeks ago. I did a broadcast called Are Foundational Black Americans Still African? Right? And some of what I was trying to say on that broadcast right there, I think they articulated it way better than I ever could. And so it was a really, really, really good discussion. And I want to do like a watch party on here with y'all. So hopefully y'all will come join me. I'll announce it as soon as possible. As soon as I know what time I'm going to be free to hop on here, I'll announce it on Instagram. So make sure that y'all following me at SincereLuvdaGod. I'll put it on Twitter and all that too. But, you know, I'm mostly active on Instagram. So I'll announce it as soon as I can what time I'll be going live. But again, I'm going to stream a good portion of that broadcast, and we could just build and give our perspective on, you know, what they all had to say about the matter. And, you know, even some of y'all, I'm going to drop the link so some of y'all could come on the screen and add some insight or whatever, and let us know how you feel. But what I wanted to say was, some people are not going to be able to handle it. Some people who are a part of this discussion on the FBA side of the game, as well as the tethers, we already know the tethers is going to tether. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is there are some people on the FBA side of the game that I don't believe will be able to handle this conversation. I don't think a lot of the FBAs are even ready to talk about some of the realities of this whole discussion, because this was a holistic discussion about what we're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And I think that there are some people who are very emotional about this whole thing. There are some people who really don't know history like that. And it's going to take some emotional maturity to even make it through. There's some people that I know for a fact they can't even sit there and watch this whole thing. I know there's certain things they just get triggered automatically and they're going to log off. They just hear certain keywords that they don't like. They get triggered, they get upset, and they just going to log off and start tweeting or create a Twitter space. And all of a sudden you're going to start hearing Dr. Kaba is off code and Professor James Small is off code. I would not be surprised to hear that shit from some of y'all niggas. I would not be surprised if I hear some of y'all niggas out here talking about the master teachers is off code. I would not be surprised, because a lot of y'all, man, I ain't gonna say a lot of y'all, but some of y'all, man, again, y'all very emotional. You don't really know history like that, and you got the game fucked up. You in this shit for the wrong reasons. Okay, and that's just a reality. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of riffraff in the mix, and that's why I feel like this conversation was absolutely necessary, and I think they had the right people to have the conversation. There are others that I would like to hear from as well, but these particular brothers, and I felt like it was a great balance by bringing the young God Chase on there as well, because Chase goes hard for foundational Black Americans, and he's right on the pulse of everything that's taking place. So we're going to stream that tomorrow. I hope y'all join me. Again, stay tapped in, man. I appreciate y'all. And before I get out of here, you know, I always got to remind the family that I am not nobody's master teacher. I am just another master student and signal booster for the voices of the new Black media. Appreciate y'all once again. Peace and Black love to the family.
Do for self or suffer the consequences. The wisdom of Elijah's inside of the conscientious. So I move.